Have you ever felt drained after spending time with certain family members, especially as you get older? The ones who leave you feeling stressed, overwhelmed, or even guilty after every visit. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. As we age, it becomes more important than ever to protect our mental and emotional well-being. But how do you know which relatives might be silently taking a toll on you, and what can you do about it? In this video, we're diving into the 6 relatives you might want to avoid after 60 to safeguard your peace of mind and health. From the drama queen who thrives on chaos to the guilt-tripping family member who manipulates your emotions, these toxic relationships can take a serious toll on your energy and well-being. We'll also share practical solutions for setting boundaries so you can enjoy your later years without the emotional drain. Plus, stay tuned for number 5. It might just surprise you. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools to recognize harmful family dynamics, protect your mental health, and prioritize your happiness. Don't miss out on these life-changing tips that can help you thrive in your golden years. Let's get started. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Number 1. The drama queen relative. We all know them, that one family member who seems to have mastered the art of creating chaos, the drama queen. It's almost as if their entire existence revolves around stirring up a storm, no matter how small the issue may be. Whether it's exaggerating the tiniest of mishaps into full-blown crises, intentionally creating conflict, or always being at the center of some kind of unnecessary drama, they thrive on turmoil. They seem to find comfort in the chaos, as if their lives are incomplete without some form of conflict to keep them engaged. It's exhausting, isn't it? They live in a constant whirlwind of emotions, and unfortunately, they often drag us right into it, leaving us to pick up the pieces. As we age, this type of relative becomes a particular kind of burden, one that we can no longer afford to carry. Why? Because the emotional toll that constant involvement in drama takes on your body and mind can be draining. And let's be honest, who needs that in their later years? Stress is not just some abstract concept. It's a very real and very dangerous factor that can contribute to numerous age-related health problems. Think about it. Stress is linked to heart disease, high blood pressure, weakened immune systems, and a whole host of other health issues that we'd rather avoid. And when you're constantly being swept into emotional roller coasters, it feels like your body is never allowed to rest. You're living in fight-or-flight mode, never truly at peace, and never able to fully recharge. It's like running on fumes, never allowing yourself to just be. Over time, this continuous exposure to stress can manifest into serious chronic conditions, from sleepless nights to overwhelming fatigue, all of which are entirely unnecessary. The later years of life should be filled with serenity, not constant emotional warfare. So, what can you do about it? Well, first, you need to acknowledge the situation for what it is. It's crucial to realize that you don't have to be involved in every crisis this relative creates. Recognizing their patterns is the first step in preserving your mental and physical well-being. Setting firm boundaries is essential. Don't allow them to pull you into their whirlwind every time they call. Let them know, gently but firmly, that while you're there for them, you won't be swept up in the emotional drama. And, sometimes, stepping back is the best choice. It's okay to distance yourself from relationships that are too draining, especially when your health is on the line. You owe it to yourself to prioritize peace. Your well-being should always come first, and maintaining that peace of mind in your later years is not just a choice, it's a necessity. The emotional weight of these relationships is often underestimated. It's easy to say, just ignore them, but it's harder to do when you're caught up in the emotional maelstrom of someone else's life. It's like you're being dragged into a storm that never seems to end, and the only way out is to stand firm in your strength. The hardest part, I think, is realizing that you have the power to choose your peace over their chaos. Honestly, that's the greatest gift you can give yourself as you age. Freedom from unnecessary stress, freedom to nurture your health, and freedom to live with a sense of calm that they will never understand. Number 2. The money leech relative. As you grow older, one of the most emotionally draining relationships you may face is with the money leech relative. This is the family member who, without fail, turns to you whenever they're in a financial bind, often in the most inappropriate or irrational ways. It's as if they have a never-ending list of emergencies, each one more urgent than the last, and they know exactly where to go when their pockets are empty. The worst part? They'll make you feel as though you're cold-hearted if you don't lend them the money. Their guilt trips can be so powerful that you begin to question your kindness, as if saying no to them is somehow an act of betrayal. Why should you be cautious about allowing this type of relative to have access to your resources as you age? Well, the consequences can be far-reaching, both financially and emotionally. Constantly lending money to someone in your family, especially when you're no longer earning an income, can create a heavy burden on your savings. You've worked so hard your entire life, scrimping and saving to create some financial security, and now you find yourself being stretched thin just to help someone who always seems to be in a crisis, yet never changes their ways. The pain of feeling like you're being used, combined with the resentment that builds up over time, can sour your relationship with not just that person but potentially the entire family. It's a toxic cycle that can rob you of your peace of mind and, worse, leave you feeling emotionally drained, like a vessel constantly being emptied without ever being refilled. But what's the solution? It's time to break the cycle and take back control. The hardest part is learning to say no without feeling guilty. You don't have to be harsh about it, but you do need to stand firm. Politely refusing is your right. You could simply say, "I'm sorry, but I'm unable to lend money right now," or "I can't help you financially, but I'm more than happy to offer advice or help you explore other resources." Saying these words may feel uncomfortable at first, but it's an act of self-respect. You've earned every dollar you have, and you deserve to spend it on the things that truly matter: your well-being, security, and happiness. Don't let anyone make you feel like you owe them your hard-earned money. Remember, there's no shame in setting boundaries. It's one of the most loving things you can do for yourself and, paradoxically, for your family as well. Don't allow yourself to be drained of both your wealth and your emotional energy. Your peace of mind is just as valuable as your savings. Number 3. The always right relative. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. As you get older, one of the most draining types of relatives you might encounter is the always right relative. This is the person who, without fail, insists they know best about everything, from your health and lifestyle choices to your most personal decisions. No matter what you're dealing with, they're always quick to swoop in with their so-called wisdom, confidently declaring they have all the answers. They'll lecture you about how you should be living your life, making it clear that their way is the only right way. And the worst part? If you dare to suggest a different perspective or share your thoughts, they'll dismiss you instantly, as if your opinions don't even matter. It's like they believe their view is the gospel truth, and any deviation from that is simply unworthy of consideration. But why, you might wonder, is this such a big deal as we age? It's not just about the frustration of having someone constantly undermine you. It's about how deeply it can affect your mental and emotional health. Being around someone who invalidates your thoughts and feelings can be incredibly exhausting. Over time, you may start doubting yourself, second-guessing decisions that once felt clear. And with each dismissal, you can feel your confidence slipping away. They don't just challenge your choices, they make you feel like your experiences, your values, and the way you've chosen to live your life are somehow wrong, even though they've been shaped by your journey. That constant questioning, that subtle but consistent undermining, can erode your sense of self-worth and peace. It can leave you feeling anxious, stressed, and drained. The very years when you should be savoring your life, finding joy in simple moments, and focusing on what truly matters can feel overshadowed by this constant pressure to conform to someone else's idea of what is best for you. So, how can you protect yourself from this emotional toll? The solution isn't to avoid them entirely or to engage in endless arguments, but rather to assert your boundaries in a calm but firm way. Encourage open dialogue and listen to their advice, yes, but never forget that you have the right to choose what resonates with you. You don't have to agree with everything they say or accept it as truth. And if they try to dismiss your views or push their opinions too hard, it's important to remind them, with respect, that while you appreciate their perspective, this is your life, and you'll make the decisions that feel right to you. You are the expert of your own experiences. Protect your peace by standing your ground, even when it feels difficult. Don't allow their constant need to be right to chip away at your confidence or peace of mind. You deserve the freedom to live authentically, and sometimes that means respectfully asserting yourself. In doing so, you'll reclaim your autonomy and feel more empowered to live your life in a way that truly honors who you are. Number 4. The guilt trip relative. The guilt relative. This one can be particularly draining. A true emotional manipulator who knows just how to push your buttons to make you feel like you're somehow failing them. They're experts at making you feel like you owe them something, even if it's something you can't give. They might say things like, "After everything I've done for you, the least you could do is help me with this," or "I'm hurt that you're not willing to help. I thought you cared about me." They expertly tug at your heartstrings, making you feel like a bad person if you don't comply with their demands. But in truth, they're simply trying to manipulate your emotions to get what they want, and that can be emotionally draining and damaging in the long run. So why is this particularly harmful as we get older, especially after the age of 60? Well, emotional manipulation takes a toll on your mental and emotional health that's hard to shake. Constantly being made to feel guilty and pressured into agreeing to things that don't align with your own needs or desires can create a deep sense of resentment. It's exhausting. You find yourself agreeing to things, even when you know it's not in your best interest, just to avoid the discomfort of confrontation or the guilt that comes with saying no. Over time, this builds up, leaving you emotionally drained, anxious, and, yes, even depressed. These feelings only get worse when you realize that instead of enjoying your golden years, you're stuck in a never-ending cycle of people-pleasing, where your needs and happiness are put on the back burner. This is incredibly unfair to you, but it's also unfair to the person trying to manipulate you, because in the end, their actions will only build up negative feelings on both sides. You'll feel taken advantage of, and they won't get the genuine support they might truly need. The solution. It's about standing firm and finding the courage to say no. And no, that doesn't mean being rude or cold. It means being kind to yourself first. You don't have to give a detailed explanation every time you set a boundary. You don't need to justify your reasons. When they try to guilt you into something, calmly and respectfully explain that, while you understand their feelings, you simply aren't able to help in the way they're asking. By doing this, you're not just protecting your own mental and emotional health. You're also helping to teach others how to respect your boundaries. And remember, kindness is not about saying yes to everything. It's about honoring your peace of mind, your time, and your energy. It's about saying no with grace but also with strength. Don't let guilt hold power over you. Stand your ground, protect your well-being, and let your choices reflect the respect and care you have for yourself. It's not selfish to say no when it means keeping your peace. It's essential. Number 5. The toxic caretaker relative. This one may be difficult to wrap your head around, but it's one of the most insidious and emotionally draining relationships you can find, especially after you reach the age of 60. The toxic caretaker relative. At first, it can seem like they're the perfect person, always ready to lend a hand, to take charge of your health, or to make life decisions for you. They present themselves as the caring, concerned family member you can count on, someone who is there to ease your burdens and keep you safe. They might offer to help you manage your medication, arrange your doctor's appointments, or even take over your financial matters. You feel a sense of relief at first, thinking, What a blessing! Someone who truly cares and wants to lighten the load. But here's the painful truth that you might not realize until it's too late. They are not just helping you, they are controlling your life. Little by little, they start taking over more and more, convincing you that you can't do things on your own, subtly chipping away at your independence. What started as a simple act of kindness can quickly morph into an unrecognizable stranglehold over your autonomy. The longer you let it go, the more insidious it becomes until you're questioning your abilities. They plant seeds of doubt, making you believe you're incapable of managing your health or making sound decisions. It's a devastatingly emotional process, one that erodes your confidence and replaces it with fear and dependence. You begin to feel trapped, suffocated by the very person who is supposed to care for you. Instead of feeling supported, you're left feeling helpless and small. This kind of slow, sneaky manipulation is dangerous. It's like being stuck in a cage that you didn't even know you were locked inside, with someone holding the key, convincing you that you need them to unlock it. Over time, this reliance on them can lead to a significant loss of your self-worth and sense of self. You might even come to believe that you need them when, deep down, you know you are perfectly capable of standing on your own 2 feet. But here's where I want to urge you with all my heart. You deserve so much more than this. As someone over 60, it's especially important to guard your independence like the precious treasure it is. You are not just a vessel for someone else's control. You are an individual with your voice, your mind, and your path to walk. You are allowed to make decisions for yourself, and you should never feel guilty about asserting that right. The first step is to recognize when someone's so-called help is starting to cross the line into control. If they're making you feel incapable or belittling your ability to handle your own life, it's time to take action. Don't let fear or guilt keep you silent. Trust yourself, and if you still feel capable of managing your health, your finances, or any part of your life, own that capability. Seek outside support if necessary. Some professionals can offer unbiased, competent care without stripping you of your dignity or independence. You can do this. You are capable. It's okay to say no. It's okay to set boundaries, even if it feels uncomfortable. You have every right to live your life on your terms, and your happiness and well-being should never be held hostage by anyone, no matter how well-meaning they seem. Don't let a toxic caretaker take away the beautiful, independent life that you've worked so hard to build. Take back your power and never let go. Number 6. The perfect image relative. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. The perfect image relative. You know the one. This is the family member who seems to have it all figured out. From the outside, it appears as though their life is a flawless masterpiece. Perfect career, perfect family, perfect home, and seemingly a perfect sense of happiness and contentment. Everything they do is met with admiration, and every decision they make seems to be the right one. They're the ones posting picture-perfect moments on social media, sharing their latest accomplishments like a highlight reel, and telling stories about their seemingly impeccable routines and achievements. Their life seems like it could be lifted straight from the pages of a lifestyle magazine. It can be tempting to feel envious or wonder why your life doesn't look like theirs. But here's the painful truth. Beneath that perfect facade, things are rarely as flawless as they seem. The constant bombardment of their perfect image can create a sense of disconnection, leaving you feeling as though you're falling short. It's like a silent competition, one where the stakes are incredibly high, and the expectations are impossible to meet. While this relative may make it look effortless, the reality is that no one's life is without its struggles, imperfections, or hardships. Yet, when we're constantly exposed to their version of perfection, it can distort our perception of reality, especially as we grow older. So, why should you avoid this type of relative as you age? The answer lies in the immense pressure they unknowingly place on you. It's not just about their perfect career or family. It's the unrealistic standards they inadvertently set, which can leave you feeling like you're constantly measuring yourself against an impossible yardstick. The more they highlight their success, the more you may find yourself comparing your life to theirs. And that comparison, my friends, is a trap, a dangerous one. The more you focus on their perfect journey, the further you drift from your own. You may begin questioning your choices, doubting your path, and wondering if you've made all the right decisions. This kind of self-doubt can take its toll, especially when you're older, and the focus should be on embracing life's joys and living authentically, not on fulfilling someone else's version of success. But here's the good news. The solution lies in your power to stop comparing yourself to them. It's time to reclaim your worth and recognize that your journey is yours alone. Everyone's life story is different, and that's something to celebrate, not something to fear. Life is not about fitting into someone else's mold. It's about embracing your own, filled with its unique joys, lessons, and growth. As you grow older, the importance of this becomes even more clear. Your focus should shift toward finding what brings you happiness, fulfillment, and inner peace. That might look different from someone else's, but that's not only okay, it's beautiful. The true measure of success isn't in achieving someone else's ideal, but in living a life that feels right to you, one that reflects your values, your happiness, and your authenticity. So, let go of that constant comparison and start living your truth. After all, the only perfect life is the one that is genuinely and unapologetically yours. And in that, you'll find the peace and satisfaction that no social media post or carefully curated image could ever provide. As we wrap up today's video, I hope you've gained some valuable insights into navigating relationships with family members who might unintentionally make you feel inadequate or pressured. It's all about embracing your unique path and finding fulfillment on your terms without the weight of comparisons. So, what have you learned today? Is there something specific that stood out to you? One takeaway you'll be putting into practice in your life? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave a comment below and share the one thing you've learned that you're going to start practicing today. Remember, it's never too late to take control of your journey and focus on what truly matters to you. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with others who might benefit from this message, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.